Good afternoon, everyone. This is the Doctor, and I hope you guys are having a fantastic Friday afternoon. I know a lot of you guys are probably just getting home from work and getting ready to start your weekend. It is a little bit cloudy here, but you know, the weather could be worse up here in the Pacific Northwest. Today in this video, we are going to be going over a whole bunch of TMRs. I did not do every single TMR, but I went over the TMRs that I thought might be relevant. I went over TMRs that are quote-unquote the best. I went over TMRs that you might not know are really good, that are easily within your grasp, even if you are a free-to-play player. So let's go ahead and get started here. Of course, we're going to start with the best of the best, right? And that's going to be the Illusionary Bell, which is the TMR from Ziza. Now, not only does it have HP 148, Defense 8, Accuracy 14, and Agility 7, it also has an ability attached to it that increases the AP Auto Regeneration Restore on self, essentially, which gives, when fully maxed out, 25% of your max AP per turn to Ziza. So that's an insane buff. And so for any of you Ziza fans, or anyone out there who thinks that there's a unit that might benefit from this, this is nuts. This is super powerful. This should be in your long-term plans in order for prioritizing TMRs. For those of you who might be a little bit more free to play, we do have Phoebe over here. Now, Phoebe is one that I'm always going to recommend because she's an amazing time mage and support character. Her TMR gives light resistance 15, so a little bit of fight against those Engelberts and those Thancreds out there right now. It gives HP plus 146, defense plus 11, which is very beefy for a TMR. And then it gives agility plus 5, which, again, you're always going to be wanting to look for that agility and a combination of defense. It does take up the armor slot, though, so you will not be able to equip, say, for example, a piece of evasion armor. That is the only drawback, right? Whereas, like, if you equip the Illusionary Bell from Ziza, you could equip a piece of evasion armor in addition to that. Now, we do have Etray's TMR down here on the bottom, Boxer's Badge. This is something we highlighted when I did the Etray review. It's a very decent TMR. It's kind of like Mont's TMR. Like it's going to be one day your kind of bread and butter when you have consistent TMRs, when you have your team maxed and you start chasing exclusively TMRs for your characters. Boxer's Badge is one of those ones that's going to give an agility plus 3. It's going to give a beefy critical hit plus 8, and it's going to give that HP 260. While there's no defense and agility on this, which is unfortunate, it does give that critical plus 8. It is quite easy to attain if you were playing during the Etray event, and it does give a moderate boost to agility, which is going to make it not the absolute worst TMR out there, but it's one of those ones that's easily within your grasp. If you're free to play, this is one you can pick up. You never know what 269 HP is going to do for you. Same with that 3 agility and 8 critical hit. Of course, talking about Mont, we do have to talk about Mont's TMR. Everyone has access to it. It is one of the easier TMRs to get. Gives HP plus 272. It is an accessory. It gives defense 10 and spirit 10, and then the ability Rallying Cry when fully maxed out is an AoE agility up technique, which gives agility plus 15%. Not the most useful technique, but if you think about the fact that you can put this on any unit, this could actually be pretty viable. It could help maybe be that set of buffs that you need if you're setting up for like a 3-turn buff and then attack technique. So definitely viable. I think the defense and spirit on this is really what seals it, along with the HP, especially being in that accessory slot again. You're going to see me emphasize this accessory slot the entire time we're going through this. You could easily equip a piece of armor or a sage's hat for the evasion, something that's going to complement this really well, right? It's going to be those combinations that we're going to be starting to look at when we start talking about best in slot builds in the future. Even though there might not be a quote-unquote best in slot, there could be a best in slot, say, for like a Bruiser Mont build, or for a fully tank Engelbert build. Gafgarian, you guys, is going to be our first weapon TMR that we're going to be talking about. Vermillion, everyone should have very quick access to this. After doing the Gafgarian event and the Final Fantasy Tactics event, you should all have his shards. You should all be able to grab a Vermillion. HP plus 68, attack 122, and a critical hit of 5. And the added effect on this is that it adds confusion when it attacks any other opponents. And I've been seeing a lot of Engelberts using the Vermillion, or Monts using the Vermillion in PvP or in Guild Wars, and they've just been smacking me and confusing me, and this has been the most frustrating thing, you guys. I watched my husband I watched my husband, we were in Guild Wars going up against an Engelbert, and my husband doesn't have the strongest account, and he was trying to, like, Engelbert was like the last character alive. Engelbert just confused two of his characters and ended up wiping him. It was hilarious. Of course, I do have to put Sir O on here, and there's a couple reasons I put Sir O on here. One, there's not too many katana weapons, and there hasn't been a katana weapon to sort of max out. And two, I genuinely think Sir O's katana is probably going to be the best in slot katana for anyone who is pursuing a katana build in the future. So he's going to have HP 60, it's going to have an attack of 82, accuracy plus 9, which is nice. Or actually, sorry, that's evasion plus 9. And then critical hit plus 13. But the most important thing about this is that it's going to grant Man-Eater, right? And I couldn't find any information on the percentage of Man-Eater that it grants, but I'm guessing that it's going to outweigh anything from like a plus 5 sword that might have like plus 15 slashing attack on it. So I do think this is a very substantial piece of gear for Sir O. Not only does it give Man-Eater, it gives a huge crit bonus to him, and it gives that evasion plus 9, which means you could potentially stack maybe like a defense-focused piece of gear and a spirit-focused piece of gear in his other slots. Very interesting. I can't wait to see the theory builds for Sir O in the future with his TMR, and I can't wait to get it. I'm probably about a month and a half away right now, depending on the dupes that I pull from getting Sir O's TMR. Now, Marguerite, you guys. Marguerite was one of the first units I ever reviewed, and her TMR is so powerful, and I think it's probably the best staff TMR in the game. It gives a beefy HB plus 102, gives magic 99, it gives a critical hit rate of 9. That alone makes it a pretty powerful staff. But what really goes the extra mile is that it has cast time reduction minus 50, and it's the only staff I can find that has that cast time reduction on it. For so many units out there, cast time reduction is so critical, and this is an easy way to get minus 50 cast time reduction. Not only that, Marguerite is not hard to get her TMR, so definitely something to think about in the future if any of you guys are out there using Medina or planning any type of mage build in the future. Now, similar to wanting to put down weapons that are not very common in global right now, I did want to put down a bow for those of you who are bow users out there. Now, there are two bow TMRs. There's the King of Wazette who has a bow, and then there's Fina that has a bow, and they both have the same crit stats. Fina's has a little bit more magic on it, but Fina has the ability on it that's very important, and that is Fina's bow reincarnation has charm on it. So not only is it a nice hybrid stat build, it also gives an 18 critical hit, and it has a chance to charm your opponent. I think just that alone is fantastic. I think nobody expects a charm build to be coming at them, and I would love to just see in the future one day Fina's attacks charming people, and I don't know, in my mind I just see like no matter what bow you're using, that percentage chance for charm to land is so great that, I mean, it's almost an instant victory if you land that charm. Now we're going to talk about one of the stronger TMRs in this group. It's going to be the Sacred Step from Ayaka's TMR. So it's going to be an accessory. It's going to be HP plus 240, agility plus 5, critical evasion plus 10, and spirit with 10% resistance. It does have an ability that grants a barrier on your allies, and I actually thought this barrier would be a little bit better than it is, but it's only a 20% damage reduction for people within the area effect of the ability. So there was a lot of love. It does remove any debuffs that your characters have, but there was a lot of love in my Discord for this TMR. And I know the Ayaka lovers out there are all like, oh, he's talking about Ayaka, oh! And that's true. I mean, I think her TMR is decent. That's why I have it on this list. And I think that they could actually see some use if you have Ayaka. Is it my #1 recommendation? And do I think that Ayaka is like the god tier TMR that you all need to pursue? No, but I do think it's reasonable, and I think it's one that if you do have access to Ayaka and you do have all of her shards, or you're working on limit breaking her, it is one that you could reasonably pursue that I think would be good for you guys. All right, getting to our beefy boys, everyone. We do, of course, have Engelbert with his Solidus shield, and it's going to be an HP 584, one of the highest, if not the highest HP bonus pieces of equipment. It is an armor slot, and it does give defense plus 12. Very powerful. It also grants the ability Loyal Blitz, which consumes 25% of his HP and increases attack 55% to 75%. So that is a crazy attack buff. And any of you guys who are out there using Engelbert, Honestly, this is meaty. I would use this immediately. If you're not building towards this, you are crazy, dude. In terms of oh, holy shit, King Eld. His Guardian's Mantle is amazing as well. Instead of offering that solid defense and HP, it does offer that strong HP and 15 evasion, which is crazy to me. His ability on it, King's Command, raises the max HP of allies within area of effect, so that's going to max out at a 35% HP bonus for any units that are around him. Overall, just a very powerful ability, and I would wholeheartedly endorse getting King Eld's TMR if it's something that's on your radar. Alright, you guys, any video would not be complete without our gunners, and Frederica here has a victory ribbon, which is going to be HP plus 434, accuracy plus 12, and critical hit rate plus 12. This is something that I think is probably going to be one of the better TMRs in the future, especially as we are seeing ourselves thrust into an ongoing, growing evasion meta. Her ability Tri Protection on it, honestly, isn't that great. It nullifies Immobilize, Disable, and Stop for an ally for 3 turns. I don't think you're going to be using this TMR for the ability. I think you're going to be using it for the crit and the accuracy in the future. And that HP bonus is just going to be a nice little, like, perk that's alongside it. Now, finally, we do have Ryu and his Moonless Gun. Now, I love Ryu, and he's the character that I use probably the most. His HP is 102 on the gun, attack 82, which actually is pretty low for a gun, but it has evasion plus 13. And as a gunner, you don't have that much access to a ton of attack and evasion gear. And so I'm actually seeing a build where maybe you use the Moonless Gun, and yes, it's not the highest evasion as something else that you could wear, but maybe you stack on some more defense TMRs, defense armors, or, you know, anything like that, some defense accessories, and try and sort of almost make a beefier Ryu, if that makes sense. I'm not sure, but I have a feeling that I am going to make a specialized build video on Ryu one day, and we're going to be talking about this TMR once I unlock it. The weapon effect, of course, also grants Blind, which, let's be honest, Blind is an amazing ability. So many units don't have 100% resistance to Blind, and it's going to be excellent to see this land, and then, of course, have other units whiff on your already highly evasive units right now. Alright, you guys, this is the end of the video. If you guys have any other TMRs that you think are so critical that I have forgotten to include, make sure you go ahead and drop it in the bottom of the comments section. If they're important enough and big enough, I do think that we will be seeing... Oh, Lord have mercy, you guys. We actually forgot a slide. Oh, this is the video. This is the video you've all wanted, you guys. This is what you've all come to expect from me. Just kidding. There are 2 more TMRs. That was a fake out end to the video. Oh, we do have Mashery's TMR. It's the Steel Maiden's Necklace with HP 342, Defense 5, Spirit 8, critical evasion plus 6, and her ability does have HP restoration 180 to 210 with a damage mitigation of 10% to 30%. And of course, we have Thunder God Sid's Thunder God's Cape with an HP 362, agility 5, defense 8, and a self barrier that gives 35% resistance for the next damage attack. So I think it's 3 times, so the next time he gets hit for 3 times. Alright, you guys, now we're actually at the end of the video. All the haters out there are like, where the hell's Mashery and Sid? And of course, like, watch they already like alt-tabbed out of the video or just rage quit, and they're already writing an inflamed comment about Mashery's TMR or Sid's TMR and how I've forgotten them. Anyway, we do believe in the live show, you guys, so we are going to make this the video that we do post on YouTube. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic day with your Friday afternoon, and please make sure to leave comments in the comments section. Make sure you come check out our Discord. We do not bite. We are friendly in there. We're always streaming, except for Mondays, so we are streaming from 8 p.m. to 1 a.m. Pacific right now. Come check us out and have some fun. Enjoy your day, you guys.